Some training with them at the library, and I want to talk a little bit about building a lasting legacy, and that's the theme that they have. And as I begin to meditate about about speaking to the girls about building a lasting legacy, I thought it to be good to go to Webster's dictionary and define what building a lasting legacy means. The word building usually is roofed wall structure built for a permanent use. So when we're building our lives, we got to understand that we're building something that has a permanent use to it. It's not just temporary, so we should not just live for today. Building, the art of business, or assembling materials into a structure. Assembling means you have to do work. In our lives, there are a lot of people who feel like we don't have to do work in order to make our lives be successful, in order to leave lasting legacies. But in order to build a lasting legacy, something that will endure, we have to put the work in. A legacy is a gift or a property, especially or a personal property, anything handed down from past ancestors or predecessors. So legacies is something that is passed down. And we all have the ability to pass things down from one generation to the next. Some things we pass down from one generation to the next are good things, and some things are not so good. So what we're going to do today is talk a little bit about certain things that are passed down. And we're going to also talk about the characteristics needed in order to pass down healthy, lasting legacies. As I begin to pray, I remember the story of the 3 little pigs. The first little pig, if you guys remember the story, build their homes. If you think about a foundation or a lasting legacy, you want to build something that's strong. And as these 3 little pigs, these 3 brothers began to build their lives, one decided that he was going to take the cheap or the quick way out. That first little pig built his house on with straws. That's what my life was like. I was very afraid. I had been sexually abused. I was crying out because I didn't have my father, so I was suicidal. So when I went to school, I would be very disrespectful. When the teacher would call my name, I would jump up and I would say mean things. I didn't know what my identity was. I started wearing big clothes and big hoods, trying to be masculine because I thought the feminine was something weak to be. So I was like that first little pig. I built my house on the straw. And when someone said something to me that I did not like, guess what? I fell apart. My foundation, my home, and everything that I thought that I wanted was destroyed. That second little pig, he said to himself, let me be quick also, but I'm going to be a little bit more clever than the first pig, and I'm going to build my house with sticks. So here goes that second little pig, still not being wise, and he's building his house on a stick. I was like this second little pig as well. I grew up an A.B. student, became suicidal, and my grades fell from A's and B's to all F's and D's. I started hanging around the wrong crowd, so I did not have the mindset to build healthy legacies. And when things came and storms came and it was time for me to transition to middle school, my life was being destroyed little by little because I made bad choices. That second little pig, when adults would say something to me because the adults in my lives had bad attitudes and were arguing, gossiping all the time. So when it came to the authority at school, when they said something to me, I didn't think I had to respect them. So when it came to building legacies and when it came to my foundation, I was that second little pig. So when things came against me, guess what I did? I cracked and I broke under pressure. When it came time for me to complete things that I should, I didn't complete things. My foundation was broken. But guess what? I have Taylor, Jasmine, Sydney, Hope, and Sanaya. They're like that third little pig. And they're building their house on a solid foundation with bricks. They're going to take the time. They're going to put the work in. And they're going to build their foundation of their lives with good characteristics, with listening to their parents, with understanding your education is important, with never giving up even when it gets hard, with cleaning your room when your parents say so, with having goals and dreams, and not connecting to people that can hurt you. These girls are like that third little pig. I could try to cut this brick with that scissor that I had. I could drop this brick, but it will not shatter, it will not break. This is what it takes to build a living legacy and healthy living legacy. As I move a little further, I went to YouTube and I typed in people that are successful but may have failed at one point. And there's several people that we know very well that are legacy builders. And this first person that I want to talk about was cut from his high school basketball team. He went home and he cried. What are some emotions you think that he may have felt after he got cut? He may have been disappointed. He may have wanted to quit. But guess what he did? He persevered. That legacy builder is Michael Jordan. He's a 5-time NBA player, 4-time NBA All-Star, 6-time NBA champion. Our second legacy builder, he wasn't able to speak until he was almost 4 years old, and the teachers told him he would never amount to anything. That second legacy builder is Albert Einstein, a genius. He became a genius. He was a scientist. He won the Nobel Peace Prize. That third legacy builder, she was demoted from her job as a news anchor because they said she was not fit for television. That third legacy builder is Oprah Winfrey. She's the host of a multi-award-winning talk show and one of the most influential women in the world. That fourth legacy changer or builder, he was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. That fourth guy was Walt Disney, the creator and maker of Mickey Mouse. He's a winner of 22 Academy Awards. That fifth legacy builder, at the age of 11, was cut from his team after being diagnosed with the growth hormone deficiency. And his name is Lionel Messi. He's a soccer player, 3-time award-winning player, the best in the world. That next person, at 30 years old, was left devastated and depressed after he was forcefully removed from the company he started. This guy name is Steve Jobs. He's the founder of Apple and the co-founder of Pixar Films. The next person, a high school dropout who personally struggles with drugs, poverty, that caused him to attempt suicide. This guy, legacy builder, is Eminem, the rapper. And now you see why a lot of his rap has a lot of negativity. He's rapping his pain. But guess what? He put the effort in. He didn't give up. He didn't commit suicide. And he's a 13-time Grammy Award winner with over 90 million albums sold worldwide. This next guy, a teacher told him he was stupid and could not learn anything. He is Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb. And these last two people that I want to talk about is President Obama, former President Obama, and Michelle Obama. When you think about them, they made history. They were legacy changers, legacy builders. They were marked. People mocked them. People talked about them. He was the first African American to become president of the United States. There were people like Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, our ancestors that paved the way so people like them could have a chance, so people like us could have a chance. They made good legacies. But what I want to talk to you guys about also is not only do these people think about their kids. All these people endured. They had good character. And because they did, do you think their kids are blessed? Yes, their kids are blessed because of it. Not only are their kids blessed, but we're blessed because of their endurance. Because they decided to be legacy builders. And the 3 points I want to leave you guys with In order to become a legacy builder, in order to change your future, in order to change the future of your family, you must build and be intentional about your personal life. That's in your health, mentally, about what you're thinking, think positive thoughts. Physically, taking care of your body. Emotionally, watching what it is that you say. Not just saying what you feel because you feel it. Do what is right. Just because you feel angry doesn't mean that you say mean things or say angry things or treat people badly. Be responsible. Be dependable. That second area is the family legacies. We want to begin to go back to build family legacies where our households are strong, we're showing love, we're showing patience and respect for one another. We're teaching, we're correcting, and we're directing. Our third area, in our school, business, and our career, we have to do what it takes to build our talents, our abilities, and cultivate what's in us. It's not just going to happen to us. We have to do what it takes to actually build in those areas. We have to be intentional about going home and doing our schoolwork. We have to be intentional about studying a little more. We have to be intentional about who we connect to, even as adults. We have to be intentional about making good decisions, about setting goals, and we have to be intentional to never give up. Here we have today, I've given you the steps in order to become a legacy builder. Thank you.